Only in northern New Mexico they put tomatoes in their sauce. And I figured I'd use fresh tomatoes from the garden.
Excellent.
A whole bunch of green chili. This was a little expensive. The fresh green I got was $1.39 a pound. That's only because it's just now out of season. Even though hatch grows all year round, so it's basically always in season here, but the big glut is in the fall. So the price drops down to like, if you're buying it by the 50-pound sack, you're paying probably about 50 cents a pound for it. It's usually about 25, 30 pounds a sack. And they roast it for you. You just gotta take it home and peel it all and then freeze it off. That's what every New Mexican does. It's kind of like once every fall, you go get a big 50-pound sack of chili, roast it off, and come home and put on the gloves and peel it because, well, unless you're like mild, whatever. When you peel a 50-pound sack of hot chili, it will make your hands crack and blister if you're not wearing gloves. Even though chili in general, it hurts, but there's no physical malevolent effects. When you're doing 50 pounds of hot, yeah, your skin reacts and it's not happy. So that you have to wear gloves. And then, of course, there's those people who grew up doing it and they'll not wear gloves and their hands are cracked and grizzled.
I mean, this is common sense. This is not anything else. And Elizabeth
Green chili is an art of New Mexico.
did propose such a plan.
You know, if you think about it, a taco, a burrito, chimichanga,
right now,
they're all the same ingredients. It's just different ways of preparing them.
Modernizing.
Got your beans, your cheese, your chili, your rice,
But that too has money.
and corn, of course.
The bulletin of atomic
Tortilla
energy
shells, but then they throw in some wheat when Europeans came to America. Because there was no wheat in America before the Europeans got
Really,
here.
one company, I think it's
We had corn
they're
and quinoa,
like
were the predominant grains in America when the Spanish got here.
also a scandal.
Quinoa was mostly throughout Central America, South America. And all the Indians north of Mexico were all about corn. There's freaking 150 different kinds of corn from New Mexico, including rainbow corn. Have you ever seen rainbow popcorn?
Oh, yeah.
Little tiny ears about that big. Some people call it glass corn. And they're half the size of a regular kernel, so when you pop it, you get these tiny little puffs with different colors on them. Awesome stuff. And it's so much more nutritional than American corn. I mean, corn was GMO'd since the 50s in America to make it bigger and less nutritious. Go figure. So, when you buy white corn or sweet corn, that's all so far from the original strain that it was grown from, that it was bred to be bigger.
Thank you so much.
It takes more water as well, which is insane, because that's one of the beauties about the Indian popcorn, glass corn, is it takes almost no water at all. It's like one of the most drought resistant plants on the planet. And so you can grow just a couple, 2 or 3 rows, water it once a week, and it does great. Where in New Mexico, where there's so little water, that's a huge bonus. And it's just as nutritious as regular corn. But most of the Indian corns are super, super tough. Even like the black corn, which is like darker than the blue corn. The black corn has big kernels, but you can't boil it and eat it. It's like chewing on a friggin' tire. You gotta shear it off, grind it, and turn it into tortillas. That's basically the only way to eat it, but it's super nutritious, extremely high in antioxidant, because it's black. It's not even purple, it's like black. It's the real stuff. Okay, my tortillas might be getting close. Oh yeah. Perfect. That's exactly what you want. Nice little bit of brown around the edges. Oh yeah. That's why I love a convection oven.
That's why I recommend a free service called.
And yes, it was not supposed to be for home use, but fuck them. It works. Okay. You get your nice carbon steel Dexter from World War II.
A place for love offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors.
The bottom of the pan's a little bit thinner than the top of the pan. So you cut out one piece. Drop it in there. I'll come over here and see what I'm doing. And then once the major piece is in there, then you take all the smaller pieces and fill in the gaps. Because it's basically a lasagna. But it's New Mexican lasagna. And it friggin' blows doors, as we see around here. Oh shoot, I forgot to, oh. Probably only have enough cheese for 3 layers, so I'll go light on this one. Because there has to be the top layer too. And then you take your fresh roasted green chilies, open them up, do a layer of those. As I told Killian, this is like a 3-hour recipe. So it's a little labor intensive, but if you only got a family of 2 or 3, it's like 2 or 3 meals. I'm going to get probably close to a good 8 portions out of every pan. And you basically just create a layer of everything and repeat it. Nice and easy.
Visit nmfinance.com/recovery to apply now, so you can free up your cash and focus on your great comeback.
And it doesn't have to be exactly the same layer every time. As you saw, I did the liquid sauce on the first layer, followed by cheese, followed by tortilla, followed by chili. On this layer, I think I'll do chili, followed by tortilla, followed by cheese, followed by sauce. So it doesn't really matter. As long as you get 3 layers in there, you're doing good. It'll still taste the same. Hell, let's do sauce on top of the chili. Mix it up a little bit. Sauce smells good, huh?
Oh, it smells delicious.
Like I said, this is Norteño, New Mexican style. Because in southern New Mexico, they never put tomatoes in the chili. But I figure it's all nightshade. It tastes good. Why do anything different?
The wonder go on. Go to SavantCafe.com to learn more about how Savant Wealth Management holistic approach can help you pursue your financial goals. And John Duncan, financial advisor.
Just fill up the corners. So make sure it's somewhat even. Use all the crumbs to fill all the cracks. But yeah, it doesn't taste the same unless they're like nice and toasty brown like that. Okay, chili sauce, cheese.
The Rick Under Show.
It's the Rick Under Show. I'm David Roslin. Call us at 833-711-7425. That's 833-711 Rick.
Okay, one more good layer and it's almost ready to go into the oven.
6271. Steven from San Jose. You're on the Rick Under Show.
And I guess we'll mix it up, give it a little sauce. Then tortilla, then more sauce. Because we're getting to the top layer. So the last layer is cheese. Second to the last layer is sauce. However you want to do it, other than that, it's up to you.
a lot of projects that are very, very expensive, and there is kind of a...
So you got to make sure you got a lot of sauce. You got at least probably 4 layers, even though it's a 3-layer dish. Because you got to put sauce on the bottom layer so it doesn't stick.
And they're on the country goal. And then there's things about all the projects that have done with these really large companies where they're building like a warhead or something that just sits in the, you know, in storage for many, many, many years, and it's really not necessary. So I've literally been part of projects that were $24 million projects where the deliverable was a video or something for some of these branches of our armed forces. So it's interesting, you know, if you say there's these...
Alrighty, one more last chili layer.
Whatever,
actual chili.
Everybody all praise, you can get...
Top that off with some sauce.
A lot of money on
Oh, the sauce is good. You know, you look at the sauce.
$2 trillion on education and improve every single school in the United States. You can't get people rallied for that, and it's sad. It's very sad.
Right. You know, it seems to require this element of fear, or at least that's what the leadership of the
Started from the other end. I'll try to rotate just so you get an even
the circle within
consistency.
Washington, D.C. that controls that mechanism seems to think. I mean, we've heard for decades of the stereotypical 300, I probably know, adjusted for inflation, $300 toilet seat.
So basically, 3 large chilies is 1 layer.
Complex, but
So you got 9 chilies to do 3 layers.
$24 million.
It seems to be working out just about right.
So it sounds significantly worse than that, and there are people making
just rip them
enormous
apart.
amounts of money.
It's not like anybody's going to see it when they're eating it.
It was World War II.
I got chili left, so I probably could have done with 8.
Were the communists.
They have to be pretty big, so I know there's a lot of times we'll just buy an extra.
At sea for a little bit, but then there were...
Make sure there is enough.
Islamic terrorists after...
It's not like anybody's going to complain that there's too much chili.
Out of Afghanistan, we're looking more towards...
If they do, you can just like
And
laugh
it
at
just seems like one after the other. There's a motivating fear factor.
Always wash your hands in between layers.
A lot of money. You correct me if I'm wrong, because you've had more direct experience with it. This
Okay.
is very gadget focused. You know, it seems like...
So I cover it up the last. I usually do a little bit more sauce on the top layer,
The hot new gadget.
just to make it all super nice and...
Is that a problem?
Absolutely.
Because the cheese will keep it pretty moist, but
Very large
you have to imagine all that tortilla soaks up a lot of moisture. So, and then you take the whole thing and shake it like that. Push anything down that might come up. Wipe down your edge so it doesn't burn and make it harder to clean your pan.
Say that again?
You wipe off the edge so that it doesn't burn, so when you have to clean the pan, you don't have fucking burnt cheese all and crap all over you.
Exactly.
And then you just top
A lot
it
of
all.
people miss that part.
Yeah. Well, considering I do all the dishes here, I'm a little more conscious. And then you just do a nice thick layer of cheese on the top.
At least we're not excluding anything. We're not killing anybody, you know. And there's a lot of creativity, and there's a lot of technology, and a lot of learning, and a lot of productivity that comes from that. So, you know, if we're going to...
Okay, and then the final thing is how to wrap it to cook
You
it.
know, people are going hungry. You know, if we're going to spend it on something, we should probably spend it on the space race rather than weapons of mass destruction.
You're right, and yet we're tearing down that. It occurred to me when you said that people are motivated by fear. That
Even after the cheese, I'll still wipe down the cook.
have
Size
origin
again.
in fear that actually
Wipe out my cutting board,
okay,
the counter.
the incident related to first buttoning exactly.
Clean as you
The
go.
result of that was what was the things
Makes it so your kitchen never turns into a
education.
mosh pit.
And getting people to the point where, hey, we need to have the next
Okay.
generation
I need a piece of parchment paper,
in
which I
this
keep in here.
and developing these things, and that was actually a very positive thing. And it was
Yeah, and Kennedy said we use things as the other things, not because they're easy, but because they are hard. And that's fantastic. That's a call to education, that's a call to hard work, that's a call to innovation, and we can really use that now. We're really good at that. We we're really good at that.
I use the heavy duty foil because I use it 3 or 4 times every time I use it.
You're absolutely right. You know, it might be a big expensive diversion, but it's usually a deadly diversion, and it has some amazing side benefits. Not only for you guys,
Cap it airtight.
that's right, but also
You never, that's why you use the parchment paper. But you never cap anything, especially if it's acidic, with aluminum foil and bake it. Totally caustic. Acid and aluminum foil don't mix. So if you don't put paper in between, you're absorbing tin and nickel and a whole bunch of heavy metals. It's really not good for you. So if you ever use baking foil or aluminum foil for baking, always make sure it's not exposed to the food itself. Otherwise, you're just asking for Alzheimer's.
I agree. And so many different ways. Let's do that today on the Thursday edition of Rick Upper. So Stephen, thanks so much.
Drop that puppy in there for about 40 minutes, well, about half an hour at 325. Pull off the foil and the paper, and then I turn it up to like 500 just to crisp the cheese on the top.
You can find the show online at rickrangershow.com. Follow us on Twitter.
But that's green soy rellenos.
Find us on Facebook.
Enjoy.
Thanks for listening.